All right, guys. So a few days ago, I mentioned that a web designer who I'd talked to previously just wanted to offer some tips and kind of help get me back on track because he could tell that I was kind of straying in all sorts of different directions and it was getting kind of messy again. So today, he basically gave me some pretty good pointers. Honestly, I should have just recorded the call and put that up as today's video. But since I didn't, I'll show you kind of what the action plan is from here on out. So pretty much, I mean, I guess, yeah, you guys can read everything that's here, but I just need to figure out where exactly I'm posting organic content. Basically, we need to just create a crazy content farm and just do a bunch of volume. So the way I'm planning on doing that is basically, I guess I kind of go into more detail down here, but I figure out some post topics to create, and I can do that using Notebook LM. And then I can write a Reddit post, write a forum post. And by the way, this is in the dental niche, if for anyone who doesn't know. And then I record a long form YouTube video about that topic, and then I can break that video down into viral type short form content. Not that it's going to go viral necessarily, but as long as it's getting a couple views in the right niche, those can be some very high impact views. So the idea is phase one is just going to be figuring out what the fuck I'm going to do. So figuring out where I'm going to post that content, getting the tracking set up, this is on a separate note. I need a follow-up protocol for clients because whenever I hop on a meeting and I don't close on that meeting, my follow-up protocol is super all over the place. I just have not been consistent about following up and basically bugging them until I either close or get a firm no. And then when I say content idea generator, Notebook LM, I told you guys about how there's a Google, like a Chrome extension, where you can just take entire YouTube channels worth of content and give that to basically Google Gemini as a chatbot, or like the transcripts of those videos. And so you can use that as like a specialized kind of AI chatbot, which is super useful. And then for the dental forum, you can use some of these AI web browsers. You got to be careful. A lot of those have like privacy issues, but in my experience, Perplexity Comet was pretty good. It was able to kind of just navigate it was able to navigate a tab where I was logged in on its own. And so I just assigned it to get some info. So I'm kind of I want it to assess like what are some common questions on the dental forum. And then that way, those are quite literally dentists asking questions about marketing. So that would be a great way to come up with ideas for content. And then, of course, training Claude on my writing style using prior forum posts that I've written. I spend too much time writing. Writing is kind of, I guess, in a way, sometimes one of my strengths, but it takes me so long and sometimes I have a really hard time articulating myself. So I think I'm just going to train Claude on my writing style and tweak it and make it, just guarantee that it sounds human, even though it is trained on my writing style. Phase two, I'm going to formally just call this week one of posting content. So I basically need to figure out how much can I handle. I don't want to make, as you guys know, I'm very serious about habits. I don't want to, and consistency, given that we're on day 80 something. I don't want to just set a goal that's so high that I can't ever achieve it. But I also don't want to set something so low where there's plenty of opportunity to go up. So we're going to, use this week one to figure out what is the actual goal. I guess phase three, I probably should have put, begin the goal that we set in phase two, but whatever, I just wrote this up kind of half for the video, half for myself. And then phase three, I'm considering, this is something I was tempted to do now. But my friend who I spoke to earlier, the web designer, he was kind of like, hey, make sure we're not focusing on this stuff before we're focusing on volume. Cause like I've said tons of times throughout this series, you can focus on building for so long, but if you're not actually pushing, traffic at at something that you've already built, you're kind of just delaying yourself. So this is my little reward here for getting this going. Obviously phase two is going to be the part I don't want. This is going to be more or less fun and easy. This is going to be like the part where I actually need to create content and like sit in front of a camera and record. So not too fun for me. And I am not too good at making content like this. I mean, I can make content where I'm just talking to the laptop, but like more sales professional type content, maybe not so much. Although I don't know, maybe people do like the casual tone. I know that the kind of casual, the casual energy, there's this guy, Mark Builds Brands. Maybe some of you know him. Mark Builds Brands makes really good e-commerce content, and he literally sits in a dark room, kind of like me right now with his shirt off. Just makes these videos where he drops a ridiculous amount of value, and people love him for it. So I don't know, maybe the culture's changing, and maybe just videos like this, except packed with value, would be good. Although I don't know, a lot of these dentist people are like, they're more like, they're college educated, of course, and some, maybe some on the older side. So maybe not. Whatever, I'm getting terribly sidetracked. And then phase 3, basically, this is the fun part, lead magnet. For anyone who doesn't know what a lead magnet is, it's basically like when you go on a website and it says, click here for a free PDF on how to do whatever. So that's the magnet. It's, oh, you want this PDF, you want this free guide, right? So psych, you're going to have to give me your email. So I got to basically figure out what I'm going to put in the lead magnet and create it. I think this will more or less be, AI generated, although it will be based on really good information. It's just, I'm not going to spend, hours writing an ebook. So it'll probably be a few pages of, logically structured content that will be useful to somebody. But I'm not going to stress out over making it perfect. And then, but we want to make it good enough because this is the prerequisite to somebody actually either booking a meeting or hiring us. So it's important that it's good. And keep in mind, phase 3 happens after here. So we have to make content before we get to do this part. So once that's done, man, this video is getting long. I don't know why I'm talking so sporadically. So set up tracking for the lead magnet, and then create a separate web page with a download now button, which prompts for email. So basically, instead of, if somebody clicks on my link, let's say in a Reddit post or whatever, they visit my main website, it would be kind of weird for me to take them straight to a sales page. But if that website has its own little separate page, and then it's like, here's the ebook, download now, you click download now, prompts for email, you fill out your email. I autonomously send an email, which has a link to Gamma. I have Gamma here because of, oh geez, my brightness. Oh, good Lord, you guys see that? So you can use this to make like little, I don't know, like infographic type site. What are they called? Like those super like salesy sites. Like whenever someone has like a course and it's like big green button kind of deal. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. Anyways, let me go back to the dark. So yeah, basically making a total sales page as packed with value, but also, call to actions as possible. And basically using that to try to get on meetings. So I don't know. I'm probably forgetting something here. I'm sure there's something we're going to have to add here. But then phase 4, this is crazy because I never thought I'd really do this, but the guy I talked to earlier, he was kind of like, yo, you could think about cold email. He wasn't like saying that it was a total game changer, but look, cold email works, all right? And I know that it works because I get cold emails. So if it didn't work, people would stop doing it. People would realize that quickly. So it does work. And I think it's worthwhile for me to be able to, cold emails quite literally can print money. You do a really good job and you can get very scientific about the tracking. And it's like, basically, none of this works without traffic. None of this works without volume. So it's kind of worth it, right, to figure out cold email. But this is another excellent way to delay myself. Although I guess, I don't know, when you think about it, that is a pretty active sprint towards clients. So I don't know, there's somewhat, maybe we could take phase 4 and kind of merge it in here somewhere, but I don't know. I don't want it to get super messy. So this is more or less just, this is like the little things on the side of the bowling alley where it's like, you got the whole thing for the ball to go down towards the pins, but like we just need something like this, right? We need a page with a plan. And if we go off the plan a little bit, that's okay. But we can't roll into the gutter again, if you know what I'm saying. So, yep, that's going to probably do it for today. I'm going to keep this one pretty raw. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.